What is up, everyone? What are we doing again? This is Edited Truth. I'm Kyle. This is Danny. We are doing a podcast. I think we are talking into the mic and then sending it out and distributing it on the internet, where on average only 4 people listen per episode.
Hey,
that's where we're at. Hey, but except for certain episodes where we do a lot of drama, then we get like about 100 per. So that's something.
We swing back and forth. We got 4 loyal people, and then all those fair weather people like to pop in just for the drama.
Just like the drama. They just want the damn drama, and we're gonna bring you none of that today.
No, there's not that much drama.
Yeah, no drama. Today we are talking some Gundam, but before we do that, Danny. We got some good, the bad, the ugly. We got a little news, some Gundam news.
Ooh.
We also have some information on the uncanny experience currently happening right now in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Uncanny experience. Is that X-Men related?
It just might be.
That's uncanny.
X-Men. It is unreal. Yeah.
They're showing off game engines. They're making new. It's a gamer. It's a developer conference.
No, it's a fan experience led by the X Reads podcast. They can afford Unreal developers. We also have, speaking of, or Unity developers, to segue into some news this week. That's kind of little drama, right there. Okay. But before we get into any of that, Danny,
all right,
we are going to do a little bit of the cringe lifestyle.
I already moved past it. I was already ready for something.
You were ready.
Something fulfilling.
All right.
I
already forgot what I queued up, so let's just okay. This is this one's not so cringe. This one's not so cringe.
This is interesting.
I'm going to show you.
It's a controller,
20 minutes of
custom made.
This is more of a this was made 10 years ago.
Okay.
It's a kid talking about a modded controller for the Xbox 360.
Okay, that's
all right. Let's watch it.
Throwback.
What's good, YouTube? This is modded controller 360 with the controller of the week. Here's Red Tiger.
Kid's got a cardigan on.
Started it today. Yesterday. Finished it today. It looks nice. It looks sexy. Front. Here's the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, twirl it.
Here's the front.
It's red.
So get
and black.
behind 72. This is
all right. You get the point.
Okay.
I want you to guess.
All right.
Which famous celebrity this is? This is their YouTube channel from like 10 years ago.
Okay.
So he's young 20s.
All right.
Actor, famous.
Okay.
Who is it?
It's Kieran Culkin. No, just kidding.
Kieran Culkin.
No,
Isn't he like hitting 40?
One of them is. No, I think you're thinking Macaulay. Kieran was always the baby in the pictures.
Kieran was in Scott Pilgrim 15 years ago.
Was that Kieran?
Yeah, that was Kieran.
I thought that was Rory, the young one. Is that the youngest one?
I think
Rory Culkin then. That's who I'm thinking of. It's Rory Culkin's YouTube channel.
This is a Timothy Chalamet's YouTube channel. Apparently, he did a lot of Xbox mods back in the day.
Well, that's cool though. That's a good. I like that.
It's not a bad mod.
That's red and black.
It's a
Tiger
pretty
stripes.
Mod.
Pretty cool.
But it's an interesting video because we're in this era where any famous celebrity is probably going to have some type of YouTube channel.
That's like a mandate now to get.
That's where we're at.
You have to have a following to even get like in movies now when they look for new up and coming actors and actresses.
Sure.
It's wild.
Let's check out this cat. Do you think he is about Earth Federation forces or is he about Xeon?
Oh, this cat here? Oh, he's Zig Xeon all the way. Zig fucking Xeon. He's pretty adamant about it. The Principality Xeon runs deep within his blood.
He is holding solid that Zig Xeon.
No, he's a bit of an aristocat, so it makes sense.
Zing!
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. You're on fire today.
No, I'm just a monster.
All right. I'm just a monster. All right. Let's see what else we got. I got some. Let's see. Give me 2 seconds.
These cringes haven't been too cringy. They've actually been nice.
They've actually been not too bad, right?
Yeah, I actually dislike Timothy Chalamet a little less now.
All right.
Oh man,
You
here
ready for
comes the
this one?
cringe hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I spoke too soon.
Here comes the cringe. You ready for this?
Okay.
Well, guys, I peed my pants 4 times yesterday. Had to
God
change
damn
my
it.
diapers 5 times.
God
What the heck is going on?
Damn
Couldn't
it.
even make it to the bathroom in my house.
Oh man.
Why do you think she can't make it to the bathroom, Danny? What do you think is going on with her? It's based on the general look.
The general.
I like that she chose like a flesh colored shirt.
Yeah.
That's a choice.
It is a choice. Try to blend in the curves or something. The framing is bad too. She takes. I would have got closer on the head or something.
I would have probably framed it a little better. I would not show off my artwork. Maybe, or what are those Christmas cards? Christmas cards.
I think maybe it was just someone cares about her. At least.
Someone, she has people in her life. Good for her.
Damn, though.
No
fucking shitting
today.
on yourself, living in squalor. I don't know. I would try to tap out before I get that bad, but holy well, Jesus, literal shit.
Let's check out this cool chick. You
It's
ready for
idiocracy right there. She needs that toilet.
Here we go.
Oh shit! Oh no! No!
Ooh, explain what you just saw, Danny. Explain it.
The forked tongue of a succubus.
It was
This lady had a snake tongue that she could operate. Her tongue was cut surgically down the center. Or I imagine... Stop showing it. We don't have to loop it anymore. We don't have to loop it anymore. Everything with Timothy Chalamet was modding Xbox controllers. We were in a happy time. That cat was fucking running to be Char's best friend. I don't know. That's weird. I've seen those videos and pictures before where people will get the weird tongue surgeries and be like, "Yeah, look at my tongue," and I'm like, "Oh, that's weird." She opened a trap too when she did it. Pulled it in.
Anything I've seen of it, I've never seen so much control of both sides. It always still operated as one piece.
I would see the ones where they go up and down, but I've never seen it where she could actually use it like a mandible. Like that was like a fucking mind flayer. She was just like, "Yeah, I'll eat your brain." Ew. I would be I would be like, I'm not as interested in you sexually now. I don't know. That's so strange. Someone's fetish.
Let's move on to this guy.
I've seen this video many times.
Okay.
This is a classic.
This is a classic.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Is no volume?
No, you gotta click.
20 years, 30 years.
I'll give you a copy of this, don't worry.
You're a star. I'll take all your things.
Pissing on himself while getting arrested in the UK. His dick is tucked upwards out his belt.
It's like perfectly...
like vertical. It's a perfectly vertical piss drop.
Yes. I like that the cops are just laughing though.
Well, at the end he makes the joke. He's like, "Give him a shake."
Yeah, give it a shake.
And the whole time this guy's threatening everybody. He's like, 20 years, 30 years, I'll get out and I'll kill all y'all. That was great.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
This comes up on intensity a lot. Randomly it'll come up and I'll just be like, "Oh, fucking this video."
That's a good one.
Give him a shake.
Good classic. All right, last one. You ready for this?
Probably not.
All right.
Oh my.
You ready for this guy?
Oh my. What's he gonna swim in?
Up to.
Cool guy goes swimming.
Here we go.
That's what it's called.
What you on?
But I'm going in the ground.
Why you going in the ground?
I don't know.
Why you don't know?
My body doesn't know.
Oh man. Nice making.
Oh, there he goes. He's swimming.
Oh, he looks like he's making.
Or is he humming? Is he penetrating the dirt?
It looks like he's trying. Oh, he's eating the dirt. Whoa. Spice life. Smoking spice.
What is that? What drug? What do you think?
Well, he said Spice Life, so if he's saying
can't be spice.
I've never seen anyone have that
way
reaction on
spice.
spice. But then again, I've always been told to stay away from it because it's weird synthetic weed that's never good. You never want derivative weed. It's just
never want to.
Marinol, that pill, stay away from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He could be on anything. I mean, probably could be like meth breakdown. You've been huffing way too many aerosol cans. Who knows? He didn't have paint on his face, but still not a different reaction. Maybe he cleaned it off. Maybe he did go swimming earlier and he thought he was still swimming. He ain't married to things. His pants started to come down. That was weird. And then he made snow angels he was trying to swim, but he was making snow angels in the dirt because the way he was moving his arms forward and back, it made that natural angel outline. which I thought was a nice moment in the middle of his psychotic breakdown. You know? He had to take the good with the bad.
You got it.
Yeah.
Good for him. I hope he's in a good place. He's
He's
probably
in a
dead.
place.
He's probably
He's
dead.
in a place.
You ready to move on to
Back
news?
to the fucking piss video. Not the tongue video. No. The tongue and shitting themselves video are we almost had like a decent tour through the internet. There was nostalgia. There was high points, literally.
True.
And then it just was.
Let's move on to news. You ready for this?
Yeah.
News time. Let's do some. I do need like a.
I was actually just breaking into like strong bad, whatever that was. Like,
oh, you're just doing strong bad. Okay, you're
something
on,
like
you're on
that.
a,
I don't know. It
okay.
just seemed like a good beat for news.
Okay. Yeah.
Or something.
Strong
like
bad.
like a remix.
and
Do a
remix
remix
strong
on that and then use it for the news.
All right. First news topic of the week. Alan Moore says he's asked DC to send all his future adaptation royalties to Black Lives Matter.
What?
Yes. So,
What?
yeah, this just came out about a
Alan
couple
Moore
days
always
ago.
comes out of the left
The
field.
weirdest like choices too.
Yeah,
like,
he always takes
especially
these.
this is like in a time where even like most people are like, yeah, Black Lives Matter is pretty much a scam at this point.
Well, there was a lot of like news
just
behind
buying their
some
house, pretty much.
misappropriations of funds and so on and so forth, and some
Yes.
scandals on top of that. But this just seems like he's out of touch with. I don't know. I mean, like, why not put it into like a college fund or something for people? Like, I don't.
It's a good question.
What is this like a virtue signal for him, or is
I
he?
don't know.
Is he fucking around?
If it was
'cause you never
anyone
know.
else, I would say yes, but it's
Uh-huh.
Alan Moore.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Did his snake god tell him to
Exactly.
do this?
That's what I'm thinking.
dual-headed
I feel like
snake
his
god?
said something to
You know,
him.
Alan Moore would be into that lady.
Yes.
He'd worship her.
Yes.
He'd be all about her.
Ooh,
He'd build a shrine to her.
oh,
I mean, I don't know. I think it's maybe something more driven at something personal or something. I don't know.
maybe
I
he
can't
just hates DC so much. Maybe he
yeah.
got some insider scoop that like David Zaslav over at DC or over at Warner Brothers is just really anti BLM or anti
Yeah, just something.
person.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. It's like that's what I was saying. It's more personal. I feel like this could be
Yes.
some sort of like mudslinging on the inside, and that would be maybe the crux as to why this came to be. I don't know. It's Alan Moore. He's weird. He's one of those people that like Grant Morrison, like their characters, so it's hard to really understand their actual point of views.
The thing is, they just passed over the donation to BLM and they focused on the fact that it's all about like him just not really liking any adaptations. Where I was like, whoa,
What?
let's pull it back a second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's talk
what's-
about
what's
like, did
good?
he have a speech about it, or
Yeah.
did he have anything you could quote him on? Like, what was his? Did he? I want to hear Alan Moore's opinion
So
on
we
like
have
current political times,
this
because he's always
quote.
interesting to listen to. He's wild.
But it's just on the how he feels about the films themselves. I don't really
Yeah.
feel with the recent films that they have stood by what I assumed were their original principles, which makes sense. A lot of those films.
Yeah, I've
just
heard him say that a
miss
thousand times
the
before,
mark.
though. This is nothing new for Alan Moore.
Nothing new at
I
all.
want to hear the other stuff. Is like, what's his
Why?
motivation?
Why?
Because sometimes people are
this?
candid, and he'd be like, you know what, I hate this guy, and so I did it.
Yes, exactly.
Because like I would see him as being one of those people, like where that people just try to spin it in some other weird way. So bizarre. Alan Moore will never cease to be
He'll-
entertaining
yeah,
in some way.
It's great.
I'm
any
grateful for
type
him.
of read that he
Yeah.
does. I like that Alan Moore, like one of the few things that Alan Moore actually liked that was an adaptation was the episode of Justice League Unlimited where it's Superman's birthday and they get like this like creature attached to their face.
Yes,
And it feeds off their like
their
desires.
yes, their fantasies.
Their
yeah.
fantasies.
Yeah, kind of.
And he enjoyed that.
Yeah,
He actually enjoyed that
that
episode.
take on it. That's interesting. Okay, I never knew that.
Actually, I think it was pretty neutral, but like even neutral for Alan Moore is like, wow, that's a good praise.
Yeah,
Like, he
did
usually just hates
He
everything.
normally rants
outright.
about how terrible it is.
Yeah.
How much it displeases him.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps him up at night. He's just like, I can't fucking sleep at night. They're making this prequel to The Watchmen. I can't handle
What are
it.
they gonna do? Are they gonna another LXG haunts my brains? LXG. They called it LXG, Danny.
I don't. I like that From Hell adaptation was really good.
It was wasn't too bad. Yeah,
I
that
like
wasn't.
that. I like
that
that
one
movie.
actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
I
that was
enjoyed
that was a good casting, fun movie. I watched it around Halloween. It's one of those weird comic book adaptations that works surprisingly well.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to the next subject.
All right.
What are we doing? Okay.
Oh.
Unity
Uh-huh.
has changed its fee. So Unity is
yeah.
a game engine.
Mhm.
And this is crazy.
Yeah,
So
this is because of the pretty big ripple.
Essentially, what it used to be is they would take gross sales and take a percentage of that. That's kind of how Unreal works.
Yeah,
And
business
Unity
as
worked for a
usual.
while. Now they're taking a percentage per download, which
Whoa.
is insane.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Essentially,
Yeah.
you as the user could just download over and over and over again and bankrupt a company
Mhm.
because they're taking such a huge percentage per download
Uh-huh.
that it gives too much power to the user.
Yeah, and it takes away from what the monetary gain is for the company, so they can't sustain their output because there's no way to keep the business open without money coming in.
It also
So that just kills it.
It also de-incentivizes like
Yeah, a lot of
trials,
everything.
trials or anything like
But-
that, or like little demos. Because why? Why would you
Well,
do that? if
we're
they were
built
gonna
on
take
we're built on this capitalist
chunk?
system, so if you remove that, there's just nothing functions.
But it's kind of crazy that they're taking this crazy route because their community has said nothing but like, I guess we're done here.
Well, yeah, the
Like-
Unity group was a pretty big group when it came to the game, not only development but
Yeah.
game fan, like an actual fan base. Unity had this weird fan base that I hadn't seen since like Unreal. It's probably the only other time I've ever
That's
seen it.
Yeah.
Because other games that had good engines were still very isolated. Unreal
Mm-hmm.
had that kind of. Unity became more ubiquitous than Unreal because at
Yeah.
one point you could see like the evolution over time when it overtook it within the last decade, and so like that fan base was like a piece. They were like, "We're good here," because a lot of this is gonna kill the Unity development in the long term.
Yeah. Agreed.
And which is great because like now all the focus just goes to Unreal 5, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is
pretty
that
much.
the what we see happening here? Is it
That's
just
it.
it becomes the powerhouse of the next decade?
Yeah. I mean, there's
It's-
no competitor after this. I mean,
it's-
I don't see anyone. Why? Why
It's
would
like the
you do
aughts
this?
again. Then we're going back to the early O's, and like
Yeah.
that's when Unreal was king.
Yeah.
Good times. Those
So,
mods were great.
Those are great.
Killing
Those are
Floor.
great. Let's get
Killing
back to it. Let's get back to it.
Yes, Killing Floor
I
3.
am
It's coming.
excited. All right.
Oh, good times.
All right.
So,
Let's talk about the Rotten Tomatoes issue.
oh, that thing.
this
that
week, yeah.
I guess you could
So I
call it
guess
a
it's almost kinda like-
kerfuffle.
yeah. So if you haven't heard, Rotten Tomatoes has been taking some criticism over the past week and a half or so.
A bit aggressively, but also not unjust.
Not unjust.
Not
Not
unjust.
unjust to a certain extent.
Yeah. Most people don't really get the whole story,
So
but
for the
it's
most
pretty
part,
crazy.
There's a movie that Daisy Ridley was in 2018 called
Ophelia.
Ophelia. It was like the
It's-
female version of the Hamlet.
It's a
tape, right?
retcon retelling of Hamlet from Ophelia's perspective, which shows that the actual story is not actually what it was. It was something she faked at sometimes. Like
Got it.
she would lie about her role a little bit. Like she
Mm.
doesn't kill herself in the end, drowned herself. She's like, oh no, I just ran away. So it's an alternate take on Hamlet
Yeah.
at best. A guided.
So apparently it got terrible reviews, but then a company called what was the name of this company? I already forgot. Bunker 15.
Yes.
Which was their PR firm for the movie, kind of started
Correct.
reaching out to independent Rotten Tomatoes reviewers and essentially saying, give us a good review on Rotten Tomatoes. You can put whatever review you want on your website. You can give us
Quid
a
pro
negative
quo.
review,
Yeah.
but on Rotten Tomatoes, give us those 5 stars,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. It's a
And
trade off.
this
Well,
movie
It's
was
fraud essentially.
able to get it was able to get distribution for it.
A moderate play out from this whole like gambit.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this does take into like, is this fraud? What is happening? I mean, it's not because it's on the, I guess, the user's end.
Well, it's
to some
because they're
extent.
you could break down the fraud because they're paying them for their reviews in an essential way. But I mean that's still accepted nowadays in a more grander scheme.
Yeah.
So I guess at that time when that movie was coming out, that was relatively new, and more people would probably lean to it being as dirty. now it's like people are like, oh well, yeah, but I also have a YouTube channel, so I want to fucking get these wristbands to go to this show. And
That's really the
I
problem.
liked Fallout, and I want to get the Pit Boys, so I give it 5 out of 5 stars.
You're not supposed to be friends with these people if you're a journalist. You're supposed to be critical of them.
You fucking did it again, Disney.
Good job.
I'm sorry, where was I?
It was honestly, it was breathtaking. It was heart pounding, and it was brave.
I cried, I died, and I couldn't lie. It's so stupid.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Every movie is the same. Every blockbuster, everything from that one company, just review it the same, and then they become they're the true biological constructs.
They have people actually listening and taking these reviews seriously. Unfortunately,
yeah,
that's really the big problem.
Yeah, because it does impact the studio. It does impact, like you said, the distribution.
Yes.
So
exactly.
this actually plays a bigger role, especially when it comes to things from Sundance. That buzz at Sundance goes a long fucking way for movies.
Yes,
even when they visit Sundance in weird ways, you'll see movies that are well past their release fucking get buzz again, and that revitalizes them. Then boom, they're in theaters, and you're like, now coming to theaters. This movie from fucking 5 years ago, off of just critic reviews.
Yep,
it's wild.
It is insane.
It's a powerful thing, but I mean, this is the problem with Rotten Tomatoes is a broken paradigm.
Yeah.
And we just need to move away from that. Just watch movies that interest you. Reviews are not as relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really that edged for reviews, then go into your friend group if you have one and take from those people and be like, have you watched this movie? I've known you for 5 years. I know your opinion well enough.
There
you
go.
think this movie's interesting? All right, cool. Off of that, I'll go see it. That's it. Be social about it. Reviews, let's do away with that.
Yes.
Numbers, I mean. If you're interested in never seeing a movie and you want to use it that way, then that's the best.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
easy.
mean, I get it because movies, 99% of movies are scams. Let's be real. So, like, to a regular viewer who just wants to be entertained, they don't want to waste their money.
Yeah.
So, I get it to a certain extent.
I mean, if it's getting word of mouth out there for older movies, that's great. But with like newer movies, if this is your make or break, where you're like, well, this weekend I was going to go see this, but this guy gave it a bad review, then that's a wild way to live your life.
Yeah.
Check it out. Just check it out, even if it's bad.
Just go watch the movie.
Even if I say a movie's bad, go see that shit for yourself and find out.
Yeah. Figure it out for yourself.
This shit is just conversation. Yeah. Motherfuckers. It's not law.
All right. Beautiful. I couldn't end it any other way. Let's move on to Gundam had a conference, their autumn conference of the year, the fall conference that they usually have. They're like every modern company these days, and they have to have their own stupid.
Everybody's got a
press conference talking about
convention.
Their own thing. This was a terrible in every way, shape, or form. What we get is essentially
it's like a commercial, like a big
commercial
corporate
for this
dog and pony show.
Metaverse.
Yeah,
that they're doing.
You showed me a video of that, and I couldn't even finish it. I was like,
we talked about this, like the Facebook is giving away headsets for free because they can't sell them right now. So I don't understand who this is for exactly.
I mean, isn't the current Gundam fan base pretty much just people who are super into the Gun Plus show? Isn't that like the biggest?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't more people Gundam fans per capita watch that show than say what Witch and Mercury had?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, Witch and Mercury was actually the biggest watched show to date
of Gundam.
Of Gundam, yes.
It's based off of like season,
like watching it live airing.
How do they scale that though over time? That's interesting. All right, I guess I mean overall numbers, but that's interesting.
But I think they are doing this metaverse thing is supposed to be very build. Yeah, so it's going to build metaverse, right? So it's supposed to be like a build kind of universe where you could like create and build your own thing. You can watch stuff. I don't know. It's a part of Facebook. I'm never going to.
It's a social. It's like a Miiverse or like the metaverse kind of shit, but for Gundam. But it's not quite. It's like it gives the illusion of like gamification of something, but it's not really like the full the full step into it.
Yes.
It's too much 1 foot in, 1 foot out,
Yeah.
and that's why I think this is weird and just too gimmicky. Maybe in 10 years it's cool. Maybe in 20 years a better version.
Maybe.
Right now they're not quite there. It's like VR. This is just another VR thing
It's
that's
just not there yet.
there.
It's just
Weird. It's not uniform. Look at all this shit. All these things are a
Yeah.
waste. Buy all these things. I don't know what they do. Get your figure. You can scan your
Just-
figure in line.
Hey,
And
just
you
give
can
me
go online
more-
with your figure and stand there next to it. It doesn't do anything. I just want that Gundam arcade game.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Gundam.
The one where you sit in the cockpit and you can like link up with other people. And
That'd be great.
that game isn't even 3D and it feels more enjoyable than what this is going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
But,
absolutely.
yeah, just more Namco marketing and less Namco
boy.
polish.
Namco, what will you do next?
They'll find ways to sell you things, but they'll never find ways to backtrack and clean up the things they've sold you. They're just like, we're good here, moving on.
Yeah.
Gundam version
that's
next
for-
year. We're
that's-
on to that. 2024.
I hate it.
Fuck out of my way.
I
And they
hate
just
it.
push you out of the
I
way.
hate it. Just focus on good shows and
Mm.
gunplay. That's
Yeah,
it.
just
That's-
make
that's it.
movies. Just
That's
finish
all you gotta do.
finish Hathaway's arc.
Hathaway,
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's almost October.
Oh my god.
Why isn't there a fucking Hathaway movie coming out?
So the if you didn't know, the team of Hathaway
Uh-huh.
is a team of Thunderbolts, and
Yeah.
the director said there will be more Thunderbolt because the Thunderbolt
Get the fuck out.
Thunderbolt manga is ongoing
Yeah.
currently, and he said, yeah,
They release like
definitely
one a year or
more
something.
Thunderbolt, but the focus is on Hathaway, and based
Mhm.
on the release date, so that means like 2027, 2028, you'll
Okay.
see more Thunderbolt maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
so
that,
I've
who
got that to look
knows?
forward to in
Yeah.
Gundam verse because I was wondering what other kind of origin style stuff they were going to pop out soon.
Yeah.
It had been a while since the Char stuff and Thunderbolt that wrapped even before or within tandem of that.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's get some more Thunderbolt. That shit, some jazz, some space opera. Fine with all of it.
Yeah.
That
I'm
and that team is great.
Yeah.
Everything they put out has
Hell
been
yeah. Let's see more of
completely
that.
enjoyable.
I am down. All right. Last news of the week.
Okay.
The 2-day immersive X-Men fandom convention is happening this weekend, Danny. It is the Uncanny Experience.
Okay.
This is kind of like a half convention, half like role play school type event where you go to classes, but each class is like from someone like they got a lot of guests. They got
That's
Chris
kind of
Claremont,
impressive. Whoa, that's
Daniel
cool.
Cudmore, Lenore Zahn.
Do they like teach the classes? Do you go to like
Yeah,
I
they
got
do,
I
they
got
do.
Chris Claremont's class at
Yeah,
2:30.
exactly. Yeah. So you go and you like sign up for people's classes. Cal Dodd, voice of Wolverine. They got a lot of cool people along with who else they got? Oh, I think they even got Casper Van Dien as well. Because he did the what is it called? Have you ever seen Deadpool 2 the musical? It's like a fan film.
What?
That you never heard of this?
No.
Hold on. Okay.
Fucking-
Hold on. Let me
I'm
look this up.
I'm lost at this one. I know about Casper Van Dien doing fan films with Mortal Kombat, and he played Johnny Cage, and that was amazing. But no, I am not
Yeah,
aware of this.
It's a 100% fan parody.
And he plays Deadpool.
And he plays no, he plays
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
Cyclops.
Casper Van Dien plays Cyclops.
Yeah.
Scott Summers.
See, there he is.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's actually not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
It's beautiful.
it's pretty good. It's not bad. I would definitely check
Wild
it out.
Beast is pretty rough, but
yeah, a little
yeah.
bit. But
I would probably kept him out of it. Maybe that's part of the joke. I don't know. You might get Dr. Horrible sing along vibes. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yes,
Oh, hey, they brought
yes,
the blind lady
exactly.
in from the Deadpool movie. Hey, and Iron Man's there, and all the Avengers.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to watch
So
this.
check
I
this
do.
out.
I
Yeah,
do like
check
a good
check it-
superhero
check-
short.
Dude, it's great just for Casper Van Dien himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's gonna be there along with a bunch of cosplayers that you know.
This is 1 foot in the
And-
X-Men universe, and he's like, "I'm fucking doing these X-Men events."
Fuck it. Fuck it. This is all I need. I'm here
Oh
too.
man, I respect him.
It's good. It's
He does.
good.
He loves he knows his fans.
And of course, the Lualds will be the
Okay.
creators of the X-Men animated series. So by the time
Cool.
you're listening to this, it doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
hey, there's always next year, folks.
Yep. Interesting.
That was a weird way to end that. All right. Let's move on, Danny, to some good, some bad.
Wonder if Chris Claremont ever gets
And a
upset that people
little-
think he's fucking Stanley.
Right?
They're just like, wait,
my
you're not
God.
Stan Lee? And he's like, the guy's dead. I'm the one who made the X-Men popular.
I know you. You're Jim Starlin.
Dave Cockrum? No.
No,
I
God
work with
damn
Dave.
it. Oh. All right, so it's time for some good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mhm.
This is where we talk about our shit. This is some stuff we watch. We go like, what do we watch this week? Is
We're
it
bored and did
good?
things
Is it bad? Or is it ugly? That's what we're doing.
Put stuff in front of my face and felt stuff about it.
So let's start off with the good. I
Okay.
will start off, and my good for the week is
Okay.
a manga that I finally catched up in, and that is Dragon Ball Super. I finally caught up
Oh,
in the
wow.
Granola arc and finished the Moro arc.
They made Chaozu relevant for a moment there.
They
in the
made
Granola
Chaozu
arc.
there for
It's weird.
relevant. It was really weird. I enjoyed the Moro arc, I think, a little bit more than the Granola arc. But
Same.
the Granola arc had a lot of cool, like, little things, little bits that I like. Like, I like the salamander 2-ball dragon
Mhm.
in the Granola arc. That was great. I love that there's other Namekians just kind of out there, kind of making their own Dragon Balls, doing their own thing.
Yeah, which makes sense because that's what Kami did. So
Yeah.
I actually liked that more than I liked the whole retconning with Bardock. That I wasn't a fan of. And Bardock's
Yes.
Trunks transformation where he's just like, and now I transform into something, but there's nothing explaining it. But it's like a Super Saiyan Not even
Mhm.
that. It's just one of the random 90 million Saiyan transformations.
Who knows?
They're like plot armor.
Plot armor, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like a lot of the retcons. There was a decent amount. Like
Yeah.
I know that they retconned essentially the whole Broly thing with like instead of Frieza being paranoid by the Super Saiyan, it's actually he was paranoid by the Super Saiyan God, which kind
Yes.
of links it up to the whole Battle of the Gods and all that.
Yes.
Moving forward,
Yeah. Kind of ties it all together.
that was fine. That was fine.
I mean,
I'm
they
okay
made
with that.
Broly a relevant character and fixed him in permanently, which was pretty cool.
That
but
was good.
yeah, the power scaling's weird.
Power
I don't
scaling's
understand.
A little weird because the Hikaru form, which is essentially just the Ozaru,
It's
the
like tapping into your
giant monkey,
pure monkey
right?
on the, but without transforming.
Without transforming into
Yeah,
the
you're
monkey.
you're localizing the energy.
I feel like what is that, a 10 times multiplier of your base form? So as long
Maybe.
as you keep your base form, I don't know. Yeah, it's too.
Because then he transformed Super Saiyan and it made it crazy powerful to the point where they had to fuse to beat him. But then it still doesn't. I don't. Yeah, it's. I'm excited for the tournament that they're obviously building towards, the final tournament where they're like, here's all the universes fighting at once.
Yeah.
And looking at who we're bringing along, they'll bring along them, all the Saiyans, obviously.
This is
but-
why we need to introduce Oob, because I think
Yeah.
Oob needs to be in this tournament.
I think so too. Or kind of what they did with like Boo got a lot of love in the fucking Moro arc as the original Grand Supreme Kai.
The Grand Supreme Kai that
Yeah.
he absorbed
Yeah.
originally, which is why he looks like a fat fuck.
Yeah, so exactly why he made that his final form essentially, because that's what he rested on.
Yeah.
And they changed his demeanor, made him like kind-hearted again. It's what essentially saved everyone and kept everyone safe up to this point,
hmm
because he's just like, I just want to eat and be fat.
Yeah.
So they could refuse him into like how they kind of did in GT, where they could like put him back together, make like Majub, and then like he'll go
Oh,
off
yeah.
to do the tournament.
hmm
I would see that because they do
That'd be
that stupid
interesting.
plot device where they're like, well, Majibu could defeat everybody, but he's sleeping right
He's
now.
always sleeping.
So we got to take on the world ourselves. Let's get
Yeah.
Chao Chu out here. He's like, I'm fucking ready. I also brought this ramen.
What do you think about Vegeta doing like learning destruction powers
The
from
Hakai
Beerus?
technique, how to wield
Yeah.
like Death God. That's cool. And he loses his eyebrows when he transforms. His
Mm.
hair gets purple. And he also has that ability to like spirit fission, so he can unfuse
Spirit
people.
fission because he went.
That's
to,
really cool.
He went
The
back
planet
to the
Yard
Rat.
Rat. Yeah. And he did the
Which-
training.
Man, so many. Think about if Goku just stayed on Yard
Yes.
Rack for another year, he would have learned that technique, which would have changed the whole Cell Saga.
This is the way I like to
And
mind
Boo
crime
Saga.
this. I mind crime this all the time. If fucking someone like just even Yamcha fucking left planet, didn't even do any of the training on the planet, just went with his base level in Dragon Ball, went to Guru, had his potential unlocked, and then went over to planet Yardrat and did the spirit training,
Yes,
and then came back, he'd be fucking God until like fucking the Cell Saga.
He really would.
He would be because the multipliers are absurd.
It's ridiculous.
It's absurd. Vegeta became a beast after he did the training, and then he could just like now split people in half when they're fused and stuff, or they absorb people.
Exactly.
Like the problem they had with like Cell and Majin Buu and all that would have been just Vegeta like, well, I have a punch that gets rid of this.
Boom.
Even though
Gone,
Goku
split.
still like robbed him, and then took his Gokusano form, which is like a Susanoo fused with
the
Goku's
weird,
Ultra Instinct.
The weird, like,
Didn't
big,
like that.
big form.
Not a fan
I
of
don't
that.
like that.
I
don't
wasn't
like
a fan of like that, the
No.
way that arc ended really at all. I liked them like when all the Nameks fused together and they're like, we're gonna fight Moro, and then he one shot him. All those things were
It
funny.
was just weird
Yeah.
because ultimately they were fighting like real estate agents on this planet, right? Like there was just the people
Yeah.
that took over the planet
Yes.
after the
Oh, when you-
Ceruleans, right?
Oh, when you're talking about when Granola met up and all
Granola,
that, during that arc,
yeah.
yeah, that arc was just that was silly.
That was
They
dumb.
wanted to flesh out more of Goku's dad, and then
They really did, yeah.
at first when they were like, all right, I wish to be the strongest in the universe, and he's the strongest in the universe, but then Vegeta's like, well, during the fight I have gained more power, but then all of a sudden Granola's like, well, I figured out how to use more of the power, which I was back and forth with, because I was like, all right, they set this up before with Captain Ginyu, and Captain Ginyu, when he took over Goku's body, he wasn't as full power because he didn't know how to use it. As time went on, he got stronger, so it felt like a similar situation. But then Frieza shows up and one shots everybody, and you're like, "Fuck this! I don't know what to do. I don't understand. I don't. Who is this? How do you? How do you anything work? This arbitrary concept, of just wishing to be the strongest and then it not mattering, seems super ridiculous. I don't know. I do like the heaters as an analog to the Frieza plan.
I guess that's the problem with
The world building is
Zenkai
great.
boosts.
Uh-huh.
Like you're the strongest then, but
Wow.
just beat me up and then I'm stronger now, right?
Yeah, but then like, okay, but then Frieza was out there. Frieza was like, okay, so when he wishes to be the strongest in the universe, is it who's powered up at the maximum amount at that moment or their potential? Because I figured that's what is this like a fucking monkey paw? Like
I
when
think
the
it's
dragon's
power
like,
level.
you didn't say what their current top power level was.
Yeah,
You-
they're dicks.
it's like-
so they
'cause-
did that with Piccolo on planet. What is it called?
oh, when he didn't wish them
Planet
back.
Namek.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
wished him to Namek and
He's
not the
on other side
spot.
of the
But
room.
I guess you're right. Okay, that's precedence. But then Piccolo's whole thing where he was just like, unlock my potential. And then you get Orange Piccolo. Because then the mangas are up to where the manga's up to where the movie's at.
So
Latest chapter, if I'm not
There's a
mistaken.
YouTuber called Karthu Dojo who does
Uh-huh.
a pretty good breakdown of it, and
Okay.
I thought it was bad until I read this, and that essentially it's Piccolo's character coming full circle, essentially, because now that the dragon has been replaced by Dende's dragon,
Uh-huh.
the powers within it are now going back from Kami into Piccolo. So when the dragon is reborn again and he gets these powers, he's giving them back. Like it's like a reborn dragon that's Dente's new thing, and he's giving back Kami's like energy, and that's why it's orange, because it's like the he has the power of like the old Dragon Balls within him almost. It was more the logic makes no sense, but
Okay,
I think
which
from
it doesn't.
narratively they were trying to go like full circle with Piccolo, where he
It's
like
confusing.
he split, then he fused, but then like those old dragons were part of Kami's world, so we're trying to reestablish a new kind of thing, and they're giving Piccolo kind of like this like offset power of the dragon. All right, never mind. It
I
makes
don't like
no
it.
sense.
It makes no sense.
I'm
Because
down.
if you look
I'm
at the whole
out.
series,
I'm out.
like Dragon Ball, King Piccolo kills the dragon, the eternal dragon, and then Kami just remakes it. And then later, when they fuse, the dragon goes out of existence because all of Kami's power goes into Piccolo, and they become the original child of Katatas or whatever. The random Namekian, the survivor of the great, what is it, albino Namekian bird.
Yes.
But,
So
okay,
survive the droughts.
So that's the power returning, and they become this crazy powerful being. Which, think about that. Go back to Dragon Ball. If they fuse together, they can just fight Frieza. They could be like, let's go kill Frieza from Dragon Ball immediately. Like they're that powerful. So like what I'm thinking is that this was just him getting his version of like the true power line boost of like the original dragon, from which the dragon energy sprouted from in the Namekian like lore, their weird dragon god, the one that's kind of
Mhm.
there's that crazy golden dragon that they summon in Super as like the tournament dragon, which is like the Omega Shinron, Super Duper Shinron. And so, but there's still talk that there's a Namekian god above that or around that level. But I don't know if he's the one who created that, or if there's like a main energy line that the Namekians that are the Namekian mystics, because there's three castes, right? There's like the Namekian, or no, there's two, right? There's a fighter caste, and then there's a magic healer kind of caste.
The healers, essentially. Yeah.
There's only those two. So like, I think the magic caste and the Namekians have tapped into this like ancient Namekian magic line, and that's what Piccolo was able to pull from by asking the dragon to tap into it, because he couldn't do what Guru did and unlock his potential. He had to use the dragon to do it, but the dragon's power is limited by the person who creates it, which I'm confused, because then like, so Dende is more power than Piccolo fused with Kami. I don't know. Yeah,
power-wise, I have no idea. Yeah.
This is a problem. I love Dragon Ball. I love it to death. It's one of my favorite series, but it's so messy with this stuff. What happened to Launch?
She's gone. You're never going to see her again. You saw her hands wave when Goku needed power when he was fighting Boo. You see her for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
She goes, wee!
She shows up in that special that they did in like the late 90s, early 2000s, where they review Vegeta's brother still alive, and he's like married to this alien that fused into like one person or something weird.
Tarble?
Tarble. Yeah, because Vegeta and Tarble, vegetable. Yeah. Jeez. He's out there. He's canon. They mentioned him again in Super. He's out there.
Okay.
Tarble's on the table as a functioning Saiyan in the universe. He could come back as a Super Saiyan God. They just have to do the ritual, which eventually Vegeta just does on his own without even needing to. How does it? It's all ridiculous.
Oh, here's one thing that was crazy that came out of, I think, one of the arcs. I think Granola. Yeah, Granola arc is that I think what is it, my Tabo or whatever the one that's on the Cerulean planet. He says that the Namekians aren't of this universe.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Where do they come from that divine multiversal dragon?
Yes, exactly.
And the god that's tied to that.
That is
the Namekian or progenitor. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't.
Super confusing. There's a lot to mine out. There are so many fan sites and like side things that really grind into that and flush these out pretty well, but we'll see what happens. And a lot of those creators go on to become actual writers for it. The guy did like the Curious Case. He actually kind of plays on what we were talking about, where it's like, if I was reading, the guy is just a Japanese student, falls, knocks his head, and then wakes up and he's Yamcha, but he knows all the Dragon Ball lore, and he's Yamcha and Dragon Ball. So he's just like, he gets so powerful that when Vegeta shows up, he's like, let's do this. Vegeta kicks his ass.
That's great.
So there you go. And that guy went on to actually be an animator for Dragon Ball now. He does works on Super, so that's cool.
Right on.
Yeah, we'll see where this all goes.
Cool. So that's my good. What's your good for the week?
My good, actually, we'll overlap with that real quick. I have a special good that I'm going to throw onto this, and that's the fucking return of Dragon Ball Abridged.
Dragon Ball Abridged.
God
that
damn.
was so good.
I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. That was great.
Oh.
They didn't lose a step all this time. They've just been polishing, I feel. And that's great, because what they did when they were like, we're going to do BoJack, and then they got all those Patreons, and then they just garbaged into like, you want to watch Vegeta play Overwatch? And I'm like, nobody wants that. Nobody fucking wants that. I felt like I was like, fuck these guys. They're not going to do anything. This is all dead. This was for nothing. And then they came back with this force. I was just like, all right, I kind of forgive you.
It was good.
I kind of forgive you. It was amazing. It was fucking beautiful. That's just a quick caveat to throw on that. Go watch New Abridged.
Yes.
Covers the Boo Saga. That's part 1, part 2. It's like the Kai, I guess is what it's like when they did Kai Abridged. Well, the Kai Bridge. Well, they call it Boo Bridge or a bridge, but the Dragon Ball Kai Bridge played the same way, where it was just a quick cuts,
little bits,
in just one season in one video, which I thought was great. There's probably like 26 minutes of content, so check that out. And then my actual good, because we finished it this week, Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
I can officially say it is a good, if not great, if not wonderful game. It took everything that I loved about Baldur's Gate 2, everything I loved about Knights of the Old Republic, combined it, improved it, made me appreciate what I loved about those games again, and brought back that nostalgia and built on it. And I will replay this game many times, and I tell people, if they haven't played it, check it out if you love RPGs, even in the slightest bit. or if you like Dungeons and Dragons, because it translates it perfectly. But yeah, I must recommend this more to people, and I can't enough. Baldur's Gate 3 is my game of the year.
It gets a 4 out of 5 from me for not being able to dance.
Oh, you can still dance. You just gotta cast the spell. There's items
Gotta
that make it
cast the
happen.
spell.
You force people to dance in
force-
Dungeons and Dragons. Nobody willingly does it. I mean, negatives on top. The game is buggy, but I love Fallout New Vegas, and that was far more buggy than this game.
Yeah.
So even if people like say it's got its problems, I mean, most Bethesda games or Obsidian type games have their share of problems that people love. Those people love Skyrim, and that's got its issues. Fallout 4 had a fucking ton of issues, and people sucked that dick into the grave.
Oh yeah.
So I'm cool on that. I think this is and when they update it aggressively, so even if people like don't jump into it until like a year later, it's gonna be new shit, better upgrade, run better. You come back and get like one of the 40 fucking endings and have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing
nice.
this game for a while. It's my jam. I'm surprised they even release a game that has this kind of legs. It not be an
Right.
MMO, you know.
Yeah.
Like I got no financial like tie to it, and I can still see a future where I'm like, yeah, just
Good
keep
time.
playing it. I don't even need DLC. I'm sure they'll put out shit. They've talked about it, but
They have
Yeah.
talked about putting out some stuff.
but vanilla, you could pick it up 5 years from now and still have a good time if you like Dungeons and Dragons or
Absolutely.
RPGs. That's my fucking good.
It is great.
It's been a good week for shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I wish Act 3 was a little more polished.
You're right, and
Which I'm
everyone
sure it
says
will
that,
be.
and they're right. No
will
one's
be.
wrong about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
give it time. They're adding more stuff to that. They've
is
already added
fine.
some new endings to people that were lacking, which is
Um,
quick because remember Fallout 3 did that, and they added it in a DLC that you had to pay for.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's savage.
Yeah.
Weak.
So
As
there you go.
hell.
There you fucking go.
Yeah, I highly recommend that game
Yeah.
as well, folks.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the bad. And my bad for this week
Mhm.
is Gran Turismo.
Oh no, Gran Torino. What is
Not
it?
Gran Torino.
No, I'm just kidding.
Good old
Oh man.
old man.
Oh,
Gran
just
Torino.
old man shouting to get off on. Actually, Gran Torino's a pretty good movie.
I like that movie.
It's
It's
Clint
pretty
Eastwood's actually not too bad. in
Yeah.
that. He's not too old yet, and he could still act. It's not like that last movie that came out, Cry Macho. That was terrible.
This movie,
It's about
Gran Turismo.
Clint Eastwood racing.
It's about Clint Eastwood, the old man, playing video games and learning to race a real
He does
car.
mocap for Gran
Yes.
Turismo.
He's the main character, yeah.
He's just driving around doing
Yeah.
mocap the whole fucking movie.
So I watched this just because it's directed by Neil Blomkamp, and he gets he made District 9, so he gets I feel like Neil Blomkamp gets one more chance for me,
Okay,
and then I think I'm done with him. But
Alright. that's unfortunate.
District 9 was so good that I'm
District 9 is
still
good.
gonna give him a
District
chance in
9
the
is a
future.
fucking killer movie, and he's released some other amazing things. But yeah, well, some other good things.
This movie is not that it's bad.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's bad. It's just
Yeah.
that you've seen everything in this movie before.
Okay.
Everything
so it's pretty
is
lazy.
a cliche, a genre convention, a stereotype, something you have seen in a different film. So unless you're 5 years old, you've seen this movie
Oh, okay.
in some
So
way, shape, or form.
it's very formulaic. Then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's
So
nothing.
it's a safe movie. They just this is what happens a
super-
lot.
Super safe.
Yeah, they just put these out. They're easy to throw on Netflix. They're easy to throw in the theaters. They're easy to throw in anything. They're just not abrasive.
Yeah.
Just put it in front of people, and they're like, "Yeah, I remember the Gran Turismo on the PlayStations.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's put it on. I'll see him drift." It's like, what?
Yeah.
Why? Who is this? This is a
Who
weird
is this?
market.
Yeah.
This is a weird
What are you
like.
doing? Mhm.
I think they're chasing that corporate trend of also Mario did big, so we're in we talked about this before. We're in
Yes,
the superhero
video-
era,
Yes.
or not the superhero. The video game
Video game
era
era.
is ushering in from the superhero era
Yeah.
and the corporate era because we get a lot of these corporate movies that are coming out off of corporate IPs.
Yeah.
Was it? There's a BlackBerry one and shit like that. So this is how can we take a company IP and really just get people excited about it?
What a world do we live
Yeah.
in?
Yep.
Creativity. I mean, we live in a world where we're making multiverse movies, but all we're doing is changing pizza from balls to flat.
Well, we're making multiverse movies where there's
Creativity.
all the multiverses possible, and you just get to see two of them, and you're
Yes.
like, what?
What? No.
And then when you even think about the idea where you're like, well, she didn't even need to be in this universe. I'm sure there's orphans in the other universe that she could just raise. Fuck these movies. Damn it.
These
You
movies.
did it again, fucking Disney. Sorry.
Good job,
I'm sorry.
Disney.
I
Good
corrected
job.
myself. Those movies are great. They're flawless. Fucking flawless. Gran Turismo's flawless.
Okay.
Fucking Sony.
oh man. All right, what's your bad?
Okay. All right. So I set out on a journey. I wanted to try to give Todd Solondz another chance. And I gave him actually 2 more chances, but one of them right off the bat was bad. And that was actually a movie that I had high hopes for based off of the trailer, and it was Dark Horse. Came out in 2011. This is a guy who I pretty much lauded this entire experience off of 3 movies that I enjoyed very well.
Mm-hmm.
He did Storytelling Happiness and Palindromes. I love those movies. And this was a lot like Palindromes, but not in a way that I think Palindromes I don't think works for other people, and I have nostalgia for it because I saw it and it kind of caught me. And I was like, oh, this is fresh. But if I would have watched this and then watch Palindromes, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much because I'm like,
okay.
it feels like they ape off of each other a lot, but from different perspectives almost.
Right.
But the characters in this completely unlikable, completely unrelatable. It's worse than the last one where I thought the characters were super unlikable. This one, they turned that shit to 11 in this one.
Wow.
So it took was it Life During the Love of War, whatever that other bullshit movie was.
Yeah.
And it just ran further with that. And fucked that up hard. And I was just like, okay, I don't think I can watch many more of these, but I'll give one more movie of his a try. And that'll be my ugly when we talk about it. But I'm pretty much done with this director. Todd Solondz has got his he's got his trilogy for me. I love those movies. Happiness and Storytelling are actually really, really good Oscar-worthy movies.
Yeah.
And you get Philip Seymour Hoffman and fucking Paul Giamatti as the audience character for those movies that give you a good anchor. And that's what these movies I feel lack. And Palindromes technically doesn't have either. Is that there's not a good audience character to anchor you in this fucking nightmare hellscape of a family life for every movie. It's like you know how Wes Anderson does these interesting critiques, but almost sometimes very cerebral takes on family life, the relationship between a father and son,
yes,
mother-daughter, and son, all that. He does these nice little, they're fun, but they're deep and they're very emotional and they're gripping. This is a very jarring, if Wes Anderson was a fucking symphony and orchestra playing to that, this is like a fucking speed metal show playing to it, where it's just really rough because the subject matter in the other one was super aggressive on the sexual abuse end. This one is just super aggressive on the fucking shitty people end. Everyone's losers, no one's likable. There isn't a moment where you connect. I feel like even in Wiener Dog, which was a movie of his that was kind of fucked up and sad, I could connect with the characters that the dog ran into. And the dog kind of almost feels like a good audience member to the movie, too. So it kind of fits into what I was saying that fixes his movies. But yeah, this movie's too freeform. The character that you even focus on the whole time, he's like the worst man-child. I've never seen a worse man-child in a movie than in fucking Dark Horse.
Damn.
That makes it so hard to... You think it'd be funny, it's a dark comedy, but it's just sad and aggressive.
Oof.
And just unlikable. People in this are more unlikable than Uncut Gems.
Oh no, that's not good.
No, yeah, this is no one redeemable. It's bad.
Unfortunate.
It's bad.
All right.
We should stop after this. Todd Solondz should be stopped.
What's he up to? Is
Yeah.
he doing anything?
No, he's not doing anything. The last thing he put out was Wiener
Wiener
Dog,
Dog.
and then that was it.
All right.
I think he realized his juice was gone. He tried to restart the car, and it rolled over a few times, but it didn't quite catch, and he couldn't get it out of the driveway. So he's like, okay, I'll stay. Because look, Dark Horse wasn't further before that. So yeah, he was round in the drain.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to ugly.
Mm-hmm.
My ugly, leaning more towards good, but I'm going to say it's ugly. My Adventures with Superman. I finished it. Have
okay.
you watched it yet?
No, I'm still waiting to kind of get around to it. I'll probably watch when Invincible's going to kind of contrast them.
Okay. So it's posed very much like a slice of life anime.
Oh wow, you were saying that. Yeah,
but
they stuck to that.
ultimately didn't want to commit to it.
Oh, they
I
didn't.
feel.
They didn't lean into it. They just
didn't
did.
lean
They try
into
to
it.
revamp into and it's a crazy galactic comic book story.
Yeah.
On top of this slice of life, and you're like, no, these can't coalesce.
It's definitely they need to lean into it more because
Pick
they
a
focused
lane.
on this. I think they made up the superhero for this, or was it Brainiac related? But it was just robot. It's anime-esque, so it's just like robots.
A generic mech villain.
Yeah.
They didn't use Metallo. They already have mech Superman villains. That's weird.
No.
Oh.
But which is weird because even near like towards the end, they got really thirsty for each other. So they did
Lois Lane and Clark.
Clark, yes.
Okay.
So they dipped their toes a little bit, but then
How does that even work?
I don't know.
To quote,
It's-
I bet the dude busted a nut like a shotgun shell through her back.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right through her back. God damn, that's savage.
I know. But I mean, Brody's got a good point. Like,
Brody
I mean,
does
how
make
does
a good
Superman, he needs Wonder Woman is the only womb strong enough to receive his seed.
Yeah.
I wish Stanley was still alive so I could ask him that question and he'd just be like, I just marvel. Like, what is this? That's not even my
I don't
thing.
even know,
And I'm like,
man.
but did you ever think about that? Like, how does he fuck Lois Lane? Like, you had to have thought about that.
Yeah, right.
All right. First Fantastic Stick. Let's talk. No.
First, Ben Graham.
It's the things
Is it
thing made of rock.
made of rock? Yeah.
So they kind of like they're like a will they won't they kind of romance, but it's nothing that they never because they're young adults. They're in their early 20s, right?
See, how do I?
Superman's like a hip guy around the streets of Metropolis.
He's definitely not.
Okay.
Well, at least he acts like he's not, but he's still like a buff dude. which
Does he live in a
always makes me
rundown
laugh.
like apartment?
He lives in a pretty small apartment with Perry.
Oh, Perry the
Not Perry,
I was gonna say the fucking editor.
The other dude.
Fucking
I know.
the kid.
I know
who's-
DC characters.
He looks like Ron Howard.
Yes.
Ronnie Howard.
Yes, that guy.
Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen.
Came back to me. Do you know famous DC hero Jimmy Olsen?
Yes.
He's had
you
the
know that
weirdest
guy.
spin-offs.
You know that guy.
He got Superman's powers in a few arcs. He had that whistle that he called Superman with.
Yes.
Kazoo.
They live together, and he knows, and they know, and they're all friends,
It's
and
like
they're like
New York
like-
sitcom.
they're having fun together.
Just
and
two single guys in Metropolis.
It's weird. The reason it doesn't work because she's Lois Lane's so
Okay.
focused on
Her career.
her career, so they almost make
Just
her
a
like a tsundere.
Uh-huh.
Almost.
I'm just a strong woman trying to
Yes.
take my career to the top, and I won't let this man's world stand in front of me. And then she just flips Metropolis like it's a table. Every episode, right?
Yeah.
Metaphor.
Metaphorically, yes.
Sometimes literally.
Okay.
So they'll break the fourth wall for her.
I guess I did miss.
Equality.
I
Equity,
guess I did miss a part when I was watching because it is Brainiac.
Uh-huh.
Ultimately, the robots are Brainiac. Okay.
Yeah, always.
Alright.
I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
I figured as much. I just didn't hear it
They-
said.
You could have Lex Luthor have brain like robots, and then later on, like Brainiac would just be like, "Well, I was controlling Lex's robots the whole time," and no one would bat an
Yeah.
eye. He's just always hacking Lex's shit. He's like, "Stop it! I want to beat Superman."
I want.
And everyone's like, "Go buy another car." He's like, all right, where's my hair?
That being said, Jack Quaid's good as a Superman.
Yeah.
Does a great job.
I always like the clips of that. I was like, he works. He's got the voice for
Yeah.
it. It's believable.
Good stuff.
He's a good voice actor,
Um,
surprisingly.
Even though it's ugly, I'll probably, if they do a season 2, I might check it out still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, art-wise, it looks
Yeah,
great,
it's good.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
which
Alright.
is rare.
What's your ugly?
All right, rounding out the fucking Todd Solond's fucking journey.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yep.
All right, I appreciate this movie because what Todd Solondz did was he sat down and he watched fucking a John Waters movie. He probably watched like it's just I would say he leaned in the fucking catalog of John Waters probably lightly.
Mhm.
And didn't watch too many of his movies, maybe one or two, probably the most popular ones. But he definitely watched a lot of Richard Linklater.
Okay.
And so you see those influences aggressively in this movie. And it actually is not too bad. It is tough to watch because it leans into that subject matter of like awkwardness of a child and like you're dealing with abuse and sexual abuse and things like that. He always loves to use those thematics of like awkward family abuse to try to stress points in character development and like try to draw an outline of how his characters work in his world.
Right.
And this movie, because it kind of cribs from those two directors or apes off them a little bit, I feel like is not a bad movie on its own, and I would recommend it to someone who likes those directors. If you're a fan of Richard Linklater or a fan of fucking John Waters, then check this out. But if you're a fan of Todd Solondz, it's probably a better movie than you'd expect at this point after watching so many of his stuff. Because even this movie was good, but it wasn't something I would be like, hey, you know what, I want to put this on again. It said it did it. It got its message across. And the last movie I watched, fucking Dark Horse, and that other movie, Love and Wartime, did not get its message across. It tried really hard. It got close, but it did not. This movie stuck the landing. Had a good like fucking slice of life. Well, not even slice. A coming of age. It's a good coming of age like a story, which the other movies did not do well and couldn't even come close to doing well.
Right.
So the fact that this movie did it kind of blew me away. But he's stuck in that archetype that fucking Linklater and Waters put for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out Dollhouse if you want something that kind of speaks to that old school fucking early '90s, late '80s film style.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to check this
it's
out.
interesting. And everybody, I mean, everybody fits. The cast is actually perfect. They're slightly unknown. Some of them you might recognize, but for the most part, you will be put into the immersion of like, oh, I believe these characters. They feel like real people.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I like. And they don't break it through the whole thing. You feel the immersion the whole time. You're like, ooh, these people are kind of, it's a little cringy. These are someone's lives. Yeah, that one's it. But I'm done. No Todd Solonids. He hasn't put anything. He's got some other stuff. I'm not going to even fucking bother.
All right.
I'm cool.
He's done.
In the
Todd
bank.
Solonids.
I would say he's got 3 great movies that you have to watch. The rest you just can avoid and be fine.
All right.
But those
There
others,
you
check
go.
them out.
There
Well,
you go.
2 of them. It's gonna keep going down the step. It's a rough. It's all. It's not a fun romp. None of these are fun romps.
No, they're not fun.
Even
romps.
Wiener Dog, you think like, it's about a story about a dog.
Fun romp.
No, actually, I take that back. We talked about this story. Movies about dogs are usually fucking depressing.
Depressing as fuck.
Rarely they have good endings.
Yes.
Don't let Homeward Bound trick you.
That's fine.
In the real version of that movie
God
that
damn
happened
it,
now,
they're
those
dead.
those
The
animals
roadkill.
die, and the kids are fucking like have to cope with it. That's it. It just
Deal
ends with them
with
having to deal with it.
It's
Credit.
done. Fade to black. We're done. Fucking-
Oh man.
All right, let's move on to the main subject of the week. We'll get through this really quick. We are talking the 1 Year War. As of late, we just completed, Simply New Type has just completed all of Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. And one thing I want to point out is that everything's so smooth until they leave Jaburo and go back into space.
Uh-huh.
And then it just goes fast. They're like, we gotta go. We're
Yeah.
done. We got like 10 episodes. We
Yeah.
gotta
Then
go.
we got to wrap up these fights. We got to start killing off main characters.
Yeah.
We have to get a conclusion. So let's climax this because they kind of petered around for a bit.
Even like Lala is only like 4 episodes.
So
It's,
you just
like, crazy.
you just watch the regular Gundam and not the
Not the movies.
excuse
No.
me.
No.
Not the side stuff for 007.
We're getting
Nine.
we'll dive into that. I did a little bit of the Igloo stuff.
Oh, so you splashed around in some of the little side story
Yes.
stuff, but nothing because technically Thunderbolt we go back and forth on that. So,
It's
but you
always-
did Origins?
I've done Origins. That was
Okay.
the first couple episodes. Yes.
Okay, so you've covered you started probably with Origins, I imagine.
Origins, and then I did Mobile Suit Gundam, and then I did some Igloos.
Igloo, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to do 8th MS Team next.
Okay.
So I'm sticking with the 1 Year War. And
Okay. So then that's all you pretty much have left, then, right?
yeah, pretty much that and Thunderbolt, which I might do another time. I move forward just to get out of.
You could. Well, there's a lot to cover,
1 Year
and
War.
you could just say Thunderbolt is more of a guide in and less of a actual like main story that you need. It's a good perspective, but you're watching 8th MS Team, and that's a Thunderbolt-esque style
Yes,
show anyway.
exactly.
And there's that new show coming out that's supposed to be during the 1 Year War again, but it's in Unreal 5, right?
Unreal 5
Unreal
engine.
5 engine, circling it back.
Yes.
Well, fucking circle, man.
Hell yeah.
This- You fucked up Unity. You could be making the new Gundam series, but instead you're being a bit. Oh man, I'm excited. Let's see what I actually do want to check that out.
I'm excited for that one too. But yeah. So what was that? So that, and then I just want to get out of UC
0079. Yeah, the one.
We're going to 80. 80 is literally Christmas and the New Year's from 79 to 80. War of Pocket.
War in a Pocket.
War in a Pocket.
And
yes.
then Stardust.
And then
Is
Stardust,
just a
yes.
few after that. Well,
Which
isn't there something in between Stardust and War in a Pocket?
let's see. So 81.
Well,
and
there's always
82.
shit.
I'm
There's the
trying to think.
books.
Yeah,
everything.
there's a lot of
It never
manga.
stopped.
It never stops.
Yeah.
But essentially, the last battle, Battle of Baoku,
Abaku.
there was a fleet called the Jalal's fleet
Uh-huh.
that said, "Hey, we're Giran loyalists.
Mhm.
Celia just shot him in the face.
Yep.
Fuck that. Let's bounce. So they bounced.
Mhm.
And they literally disappeared
Yeah.
until 0083. And he's just like, I'm back, bitches.
I'm back. Fucking Neo Zeon is back, motherfuckers. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool.
So I think
So you got that to look forward to.
So we're going into that.
Man, you're closing in on motherfucking Char's counterattack.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Well,
The piece de resistance.
God damn, there's so much. Double Z is gonna be like a showstopper for me. I think.
Just summarize it in like a 15-minute clip and just go, you know.
No, there's a
mean,
decent amount. There's
let's
a
be
quality
real.
drop,
The
there's-
Double Z is a mess all over the place. At least Zeta has Camille and the nonsense behind that. So
Yes.
there's enough fun there, and him being a crazy sociopath / psychopath.
He
You can have fun
is.
with that.
He is.
Was it Judah?
Judao.
Judao's like he's one of the most blandest, forgettable,
Yeah.
like anti-interesting Gundam protagonists I've ever seen. So Double Zeta is just a rough slog no matter how you approach it. And there's no movie reiteration. There's
Mhm.
just the fucking episodes.
Mhm.
52, right? It's like 52 Double Zeta episodes.
Yeah,
Fuck that. I'm
it's a
cool.
lot. It's a lot.
I don't like Gundam that much, and I love Gundam, but I'll be like, I barely can get through the Zeta movies, let alone
rough.
Double Zeta's episodes.
It's rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get into that, and then we'll probably get into Char's counterattack after
Nice.
that.
We're coming for you, Australia.
Oh yeah, Australia.
Perfectly
We're gonna
vertical.
do it. Perfectly vertical colony drop, man.
The worst kind.
Let's see what else. What was your favorite moment of the 1 year war, if you had to say?
Ooh, favorite moment of the 1 year war? That's a good. Gosh, I could pick like 5 in fucking Kukuru's Dawn's episode alone. Even the movie remake. Oh god, fucking. All right. I'll go for the Grand Slam easy layup. Fucking when Noah Bright had to fucking regulate Amuro with a slap.
Boom.
I mean, that's the moment that changed the course of history for the 1 year war. If that slap wouldn't
That
happen,
slap
Amuro wouldn't have got his
changed
shit
everything.
together, and we would be fucking all under buried colonies right now. You needed that moment at the end of Char's counterattack when Amuro comes to full
Mhm.
circle. Would have never happened without that slap. That slap is the most. It's like when they assassinated the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and we went to World War II.
Right.
From all of that, like that slap is that same moment in UC history, in my opinion. If I had to be a generalist,
Okay.
but then I think of that time the Gunberry fucking represented.
Oh, that was so good.
And I'm just like, you know what? Anyone who could throw down with the gun parry
The
deserves
gun
an honorary recommendation.
It's, the gun parry's
Because
where
it's
at.
just a fucking like it's Star Wars when they're using like that fucking
The
Imperial.
dropship thing,
It's like the Imperial fucking supply ship.
the supply
Yeah,
ship,
it's like
Starship
anyone who throws down and
Troopers,
crashes that and
or
shit.
Aliens.
Yeah, any of those moments. So it's like those are dope moments because
Yeah,
you're just
it's
like,
good.
oh shit, he's using the gun parry to fight. It's just a fucking industrial ship. It's like a fucking tractor for the space.
I love. There's a
Yeah.
moment where Kai, there's a spy on White Base, and Kai
Uh-huh.
kind of falls in love with her,
Oh,
and
that's
he
yeah, that's a great
hides
episode,
her, and then
actually.
he
Fair.
goes out in the gun parry, and she goes out to help him.
Uh-huh.
And he opens up, and he like one of the missiles jams. She goes out to get it, and
Yeah.
it fires, and then she flies
That's
out.
Yeah.
And she's all like,
It's dead.
and at the end of the episode, he's crying. And everyone's
Yeah.
so like, I don't know what you're talking about. Who is this person? I don't even know.
was it the original Cuckoo's Dawn episode where Amuro was like one of the scout pilots was like trying to surrender and Amuro's like, I don't give a fuck, we're at war, and he just
Yeah.
kills him?
Yeah.
It was the original, right? Because in
Yeah.
the remake they like he gets killed by accident. But yeah, I just remember that was a Speed Racer moment where it's like Speed, you gotta get second in the race or else my uncle's gonna die. And it's like, I can't lose no matter what, Trixie. What? Sorry, I just can't. You're not fucking hearing me? They're surrendering. Amuro's just in cold blood. He's like,
nah, fuck you.
dead.
Fuck that.
Dead.
I don't give a fuck.
well, you did in the remake. He stepped on that guy and then he shot that or he
True.
beam sabered that cockpit. But I
Yeah.
mean, that was in combat. I guess that was a little better. I don't know. The Universe of Century's got a lot of wild moments. I mean, you go to
Yeah.
the end, and then there's when Lala starts transforming into fucking new type ghost, and Char goes insane, and all these other weird moments in the zombie family when they show up when they're non-finished but slightly finished mechs that have either no legs or no arms.
Check out this Jiang. No legs.
Check out the fucking Big
Check it
Zam.
out.
No arms.
No
It's all
arms.
legs. The Big Zam is all legs.
All legs.
And just one beam that shoots out of its
Little
eye. And it
just
just
like
spins
that.
and twirls.
Oh my god, that thing was huge.
It was wild.
Obnoxious.
I mean, there's some great character designs because you get this classic fucking 70s anime art style. Early 80s, late 70s. Well, no, actually, fuck, it was like early 70s. Because the original Gundam was like, what, 69? Something stupid like
79,
that? 79.
actually, yeah.
All right, I'm almost 10 off with that. But yeah, holy shit, man. Like, you can't. That's like a fucking classic, just romping, like, animation style alone if you watch the weird moments and where they
Yeah.
cut their budget and they had to stretch and they just, like, cut these corners. The weird shaped fucking Zaku helmets. Remember the ones that he goes to one part with
the
the
girl that
missile?
falls out. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
with the missile. She's got that
I
I'm
love
dead,
it.
I'm dead anime eyes, but not you can't really like tell that she's dead yet by talking to her, but you can see it in her eyes. You're like, oh yeah, she's dead.
It was
There's
good.
life
I love
escaping
it.
her.
I love
But
it
yeah,
so much.
yeah, that art style is a lost art. It's a
Yeah.
lost gem for appreciation. So
Oh,
watching it
it's
for
good.
that alone is great. And I think of the weird Zaku heads in the original Kukuru's Dawn. The
Yes,
Zaku's heads
the
were
Zaku heads
were so round and funny, like they're trying to make them very humanized or something.
Ooh, Yeah,
It's just super.
it's
cool.
rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Good
Man,
times.
good stuff.
times.
I would say the best moment's probably when Ryu suicides himself and kills Haman.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's one of my because it's like if that didn't happen, Amino's dead. Like
Yes.
there's nothing he could do. In
You're
that
right.
Moment.
It's even more pivotal. You're right.
Yeah,
It
because
hit-
he was getting shot in the back while
Yeah.
holding a fucking like nuclear
fission-
tank
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
stopping it from going fucking
And
critical.
Ryu's just like boom.
Yeah.
Saves him.
Yep.
And
Yep.
This is after what's his name dies already too.
Who are you talking about? Cicero?
Rumble
Or not Cicero? Rumble has
Rumble
already
Raw,
been
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's out early on in the
Mhm.
in the Zam, right?
Yeah.
The big Zam.
Big Zam. No, the Galf. Rumble Raw's Galf.
Oh yeah.
You're
That's
thinking of,
Dozel. I'm thinking of
Dozel
Dozel Zabi.
Zabi.
They're both big framed guys. They were the
Yes.
two like alphas of the fucking Xion, like for
Yeah.
And then Char would just shoot in and be like, I killed you. Now I'm leaving. We were best friends. I tricked you.
Haha, take off. Enough.
Honorable mention the time that Char shouted at Amuro and said, I never betray my friends.
I never betray my friends. Cut
And he's
to
super serious about it. Cut to
It's
him
so
betraying
good.
everybody
every
he met to that point,
single fucking
including
human
Char Aznavold, the guy he killed and took
killed
his
and
identity.
took his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Casseval there. Fucking Casseval.
Oh,
I remember that on my
boy.
first try.
Yes.
Fucking the mini names of
There's so many names.
Charges Quattro.
There's so many names.
Prevent your win. No, I'm just kidding. That's Bilardo Peacecraft. Actually, you know what? They're
yeah,
all
yeah.
Char analogs.
Yeah.
They're all fucking that versions of Char.
Full frontal.
Yep. I mean, he's no Mulaflaga, but
he's
that's
no
the only thing I
Mulaflaga.
liked about Seed, and that's all we'll talk about Seed. That's all we'll talk about Seed here. That's it.
You want to
Nope, that's enough time we recorded for Seed. I guess we're wrapping it up this week. We're calling it.
All right,
It's been some good Universal Century.
Let's wrap
Specifically?
it up. Yeah. So all this to say, all of all of Mobile Suit Gundam is in one video. 2 hours and 44 minutes of greatness.
Yeah.
So go
There you
check
go.
that out, folks.
That way you don't have to sit through 59 episodes of Universal Century. You could do it in one night,
There you go.
one weekend. You could parcel it out
There you go.
with a meal or two.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
bad.
Go check it out. But that'll do it for us this week. What else do we have to talk? What are we? We're gonna do some other things next week where we talk about more things
The
and
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
got
just
it.
saying, don't
Yeah,
forget the stuff and the
is
things.
super important. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
So
gonna-
be
we're
sure
gonna
to do
get
that.
through
Danny, what did we learn this week?
We learned this week that when an orphan comes to you and says, "Can I join your family and be your best friend?" You say no.
You say no.
You say no.
You say no, damn
Because
it.
behind those eyes, that kid's planning to take your life,
He's gonna kill you.
and he's going to usurp you, and your parents are going to raise him. And as a new type ghost, you're going to hate it the whole time. I
whole
guess. Oh, it'd be funny if Casseval shows up or like when Char's dying, and he's like, "You deserved this," and like lectures.
Right?
They do a retcon into that. Oh, I'm waiting for that.
Let's see it. Let's see it happen.
Then they retcon Bardock into the Universal Century universe.
Oh no.
He was the first test pilot for the GM.
I want to see that.
Oh man.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you love this podcast, we have a lot more content over at freespeechgeek.com. We have upcoming convention coverage, news about your favorite weeb shit. We also do in-depth takes like, are some fans more religious than Christians, Jews, and Muslims? Spoiler alert, yes, some of you crazy people are. All that and more over at freespeechgeek.com. Go check it out, you psychopaths.